rascal is back. Look at him. I thought maybe he was done. Hey! He's like doing serious damage to that. Oh my goodness. Hi, I'm Sharon.
And I'm Gary.
And we're Ruff Road RV Life.
And we like looking at freedom.
Yes, we do.
And freedom has brought us to Collier Memorial State Park. It's on Highway 97 in Chiloquin, Oregon. It's a state park. It has 30-50 amp service, water and sewer, dump station, showers. It's a very clean park. The Verizon service here was good. And I got a couple little notes here I'm just going to read. It has two loops, an A loop and a B loop. A loop had 16 with full service, full hookup, had 18 non-hookup, but had water nearby, showers, flush toilet, and then the B loop was 30, 9 pull through, and they all are a full hookup. And the RV dump is seasonally, but it does have a potable water fill station at the dump.
Right, the camping is only May through October, May 1st through October 1st, but the day use area is open year-round. You'll also find there a logging museum, which is really cool. Now, little disclaimer here. No, this is not Collier Memorial State Park.
No.
We had some technology glitches somewhere between when we first entered Oregon and Beverly Beach area, and lost a lot of our campground pictures. So normally you would see a lot more campground pictures in these videos, but we're just going to be showing you some of the highlights. You'll still see the campground, and you'll also see some of the things that we did while we were in the area.
That were good.
But some survived, so we're going to share that.
And we have a lot of pics too.
And I think it'll give you a good idea of what the campground is like. So what do we love about Collier Memorial State Park? It had woods, trees, and water. The Williamson River, which is a river in Oregon, and the Spring Creek, which is this clear, crystal clear blue creek, they both converge there. And so many of our dog walks was around those two bodies of water. We got to kayak Spring Creek. It's 2 miles from the Spring Creek Recreation Area, which is right across the road from Collier Memorial State Park.
Easy paddle.
It's an easy paddle, blue water. They say it's 42 degrees. It was cold. I guess you were in it for a little while.
Yeah, my feet got a little numb. I stepped out of the kayak.
Right, so if you go up to the Headwaters, do be careful stepping out of your kayak. We did. We went up to where the springs were bubbling out of the ground, but even if the whole area is like a giant boil, and if you step down in it, you will just sink down, which is what I did when I got out of my kayak. But I was able to quickly get onto ground, and then when Gary stepped out on his, I didn't know what I was going to do. It was like quicksand.
Apparently I weigh a little more because I sunk into my knee.
I think it was just the area you stepped in.
But I didn't lose my shoe.
But he was sinking. And it was like, oh my God.
Throw me a rope.
But very beautiful, easy paddle, mountains all around. It was just amazing.
And well, we are at the headwaters of Spring Creek. We were told that this is just one spring after another in here. Boils up all over. And this would be Spring Creek. And there's a couple of dogs splashing over there. There's the wife. And that's it. And we came from up in those headwaters.
Right?
Say hi.
Oh, hi. It's some cold water.
42 degrees. I know, my feet are
We'll
cold.
never complain about 72-degree water again.
Which is Florida, where we come from. The springs are 72 year-round. All right, let us paddle forward. For the fishing people, I saw a lot of individuals out fly fishing on the Williamson River.
Right, Williamson River is known for its trout fishing, and there was some other type of fishing, but anyway, it's known for its fishing. So it's much slower, it is not as clear, but it's a very beautiful river as
They
well.
have nice bridges to walk across the river on. It's just a nice, really nice walks.
Right, if you walk, what was it? I don't even know the mileage, but I'll put up some clips from Matt My Run. You can see it's very easy walk from the campground to the Spring Creek, which is right there basically at the campground. But if you continue on, you'll be able to cross bridges. It goes under Highway 97, and you can cross a bridge and go tour the Historic Logging Museum, which we walked around there after hours. It was after hours, but we were walking the dogs and we felt like we were going to run out of time to see it. So we were able to just walk around and view the equipment from that goes back to the 1880s, the logging equipment that was used. And there was a pioneer village that they have, refurbished and relocated there. And so you can read about what does a trapper's cabin look like, what does a settler's cabin look like, and that type of thing.
They were very interesting. I guess the main gate to the place is locked during after hours, but if you're in the campground, you can just walk around the back way and just take your time.
I mean, it is an outdoor museum, so you can certainly walk around it, and you've got the bubbling Spring Creek behind you. And when I say Spring Creek, I'm from Florida, so I know you guys have heard that before, but we think of creeks as little things, but this was quite wide and beautiful, just absolutely stunning.
Water.
And if you keep going past the logging museum, if you turn in like you're going to go to the logging museum, if you're heading, say, from the north to south on Highway 97, you turn right into the logging museum parking lot. But if you keep going straight, you will end up at the Spring Creek Recreation Area. And they have bathrooms there and picnic tables, and that's where we dropped our kayaks in the water. You can also, there's outfitters that will hook you up with a kayak. Even the Oregon Parks Department can hook you up with a tour of the river. So a lot of options there, even if you don't have the equipment.
True.
Heading south from the north on 97, Collier Memorial Campground is going to be on your left.
You can drive by it easily.
Yes, there's a lot of trees there, so you can't really see the sign. So we ended up going past it, had to pull in, turn around at the Spring Creek Recreation Area, and come back up. But there was a ranger I called on the phone, and she actually met us in her cart and talked to us how to get there. So that was awesome. Very helpful folks. Now for a dog walking report on this campground, you have a plethora of trails that you can choose from. The trails were well marked. They were beautiful. It's the first time that we had seen shade coming from Colorado through Wyoming, Nevada, Utah, not necessarily in that order, but
high prairie.
High desert, no trees, a tree here and there. It was a delight to walk in the shade of the trees and the evergreens. It was just You'll hear me exclaiming about that in the videos. Walking the dogs along the Williamson River in Oregon from Collier Memorial State Park. Look at this beautiful little trail. We left the shade of the trees. We can see mountains in the background. And it's just glorious. Listen to the birds. So the dogs really enjoyed it because there was a lot to smell there as they trumped along through those trails. We saw, the first day we got there, it was a coyote or a fox. It was bigger than a fox, so we're thinking it was a coyote. We talked to the ranger about that. We saw a deer. And there are chipmunks everywhere, and the fattest chipmunks I've ever seen.
Yeah, they're well fed. They're not little skinny chipmunks.
No. And as you can see, the little thief from the beginning of the video, a squirrel just took the cotton off the back of our tablecloth. So pretty much shredded it that morning. But I kept hearing something, and I was like, what is that noise? So anyway, a lot of critters around to keep the dogs excited. But we could walk right out the back of our campsite, and there was woods and a hill back there, and we could walk the dogs there. But if we just went over to the left a little bit, the trail connected to, we could connect to the trail that goes down to the creek. So even though we were there on 4th of July weekend, we arrived on 4th of July, and the campground did fill up, it really didn't feel like, we felt like we had our own space. The campsite was quite large, and so
it's a pretty good sized state park.
Right. It was also the first place we had to be able to put the pens out and let the dogs romp and play in our yard, because that's not allowed in private campgrounds. Things we did there, we kayaked, I got to bike the trails. I went for miles on these trails, and even left and went into the forest, on forest roads along the river. It was just gorgeous. I am out bike riding by this wonderful creek. This is Spring Creek that flows and meets the Williamson River back towards Collier Memorial Campground. And this path kind of ran out. I'm on my bike, like I said. But look at that. The water is amazing. And across the way here is a log museum. We're going to check that out while we're here. But anyway, right now, I'm going to keep biking. A lot of walking. We visited Crater Lake while we were there, and that's another whole video. But the first time we ever went to Crater Lake, it snowed. It was covered in snow. We couldn't see the lake.
Foggy.
Yeah, this was just the picture perfect day. Blue skies. We could see the water. So we'll be posting a video about our trip to Crater Lake. Did we go anywhere else? I'm trying to think.
I think that was all.
Yeah. So for outdoors things to do.
Yeah. Kayak, there's fly fishing, there's dog walking, there's biking.
Right.
You can go to Crater Lake.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. But yes, we had a great time there.
They have a playground at the park and other things like that for kids.
Yeah, they did. And kids there's places for them to ride their bikes. So they were riding their bikes and their scooters around the campground and having a good time. And you can see in one of the pictures that, they had taken colored chalk to the road, and they just had a great time with that. Yeah, it was a very good visit. We hated to leave there. We were meeting family that came into the area, so the time came that we had to pack up and head towards the coast, which was our ultimate where we were heading to. So we had to leave Collier Memorial State Park behind, but we really enjoyed our stay there and really enjoyed having a taste of mountains, woods, and water.
Well, I think that after that, we headed to Beverly Beach. Beverly Beach State Park. So we'll be doing a video on that, so keep in tune, and if you click subscribe, hit the bell, and like, you'll know when that one's posted.
Right, and this is part of a series. I have a playlist of our trip from Florida to Oregon, so documenting all the campgrounds that we've stayed at and some of the places that we have visited. But it's a focus on the campgrounds because, as we said, when we first started off, we wanted to see more pictures of campgrounds. It's ironic because we don't have a lot of pictures in these three, the one before this one, and the next one. But going forward and before that, there were a lot of pictures.
Yep.
How many chipmunks can you see? Well, there's two right there. There's one over there out of the corner of my eye. We'll zoom over there in a minute. They're like roaches here. Luna does pretty good with them. But Tara, it's another story. Let's see, any over here? It's a little walk down the road here. There's one. There's another one. There he goes. That's a little one. There are some fat ones. There you go. Just everywhere. That's so cute. Yeah, that's a good example right there. That's what you see when you walk around. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like a mom and some babies. Ah, he's gone. Little rascal. Thief. Campground thief. So anyway, I'm Sharon again.
And I'm Gary.
And we're Rough Road RV Life.
We like looking at freedom.
Yes, we do. We'll see you on the road.
Safe travels.
Bye.